A massive, peaceful protest taking place in the city of Providence right now. Good evening, I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Mike Montecalvo. This is the scene near the Providence Place Mall. Part of the route protesters will take as they head to the State House to demonstrate against the death of George Floyd.
Yeah, you can see them all marching right here along this building. Earlier today, Governor Gina Raimondo held a news conference with leaders of Black Lives Matter at the State House.
The anger and frustration of the Black community is real, is justified, and it is time for every single one of us, myself included, to look within ourselves and challenge ourselves to take action to find solutions.
We just want to be heard. We want to be neighbors, truly neighbors. We want to represent the world in a fashion in Rhode Island where we want to be just leading role models like around this country.
Kennedy Plaza playing a major part in today's protest.
The Providence transportation hub was the second stop for protesters. Eyewitness News reporter Caroline Goggin is live there with a look at what's happening. Caroline?
Well, Mike and Shannon, the crowd grew and grew this afternoon. We started with just a couple dozen people here in Kennedy Plaza and Burnside Park. It grew to about 2,000 people who filled Kennedy Plaza this afternoon, chanting things like Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace. And as you guys can see right now, that crowd is moving to the State House this afternoon. Now, I spoke with one of the protesters before this rally started at 4:30 today, and I asked him how exactly he feels right now, just 2 weeks after the death of George Floyd.
I feel angry. I feel like I've been betrayed. And every time things happen, it just reinforces that distrust in people of higher government and police. Not many people that aren't in color understand the fact that every time you walk by the police or every time you walk by a National Guard, there's a sense of uneasiness.
And that's exactly why that protester, Harrison Tuttle, and all of these thousands of protesters came out this afternoon. Again, they are leaving Kennedy Plaza right now. They are marching over to the State House. We'll continue to follow this protest and have more coverage continuing on Eyewitness News. Reporting live outside Kennedy Plaza in Providence, I'm Caroline Goggin, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Caroline. And as we mentioned, this peaceful protest has multiple stops.
Eyewitness News reporter Sheena Lasciuto is live in Providence overlooking all the action. Sheena?
Hey guys, so I'm behind this camera right now, and it seems like Kennedy Plaza was actually a huge starting point for hundreds of people here as well. As you can see, there's a large group here. This is kind of the tail end of the crowd, and it looks like from here they're heading to the mall, and kind of from where I'm standing right here, I'm in a building above Providence. I can see the hundreds and hundreds of people marching along the wall right now, and some people are just kind of lingering here. I'm going to see if I can zoom you guys in. There are people standing with signs outside of City Hall, and from where I am, there's actually a few kind of cool vantage points where I can see the crowd, so I'm going to change my camera up and show you guys that whenever you guys come back to me.
All right, thank you, Sheena. And the last stop for this peaceful protest, the State House. And
earlier, our cameras captured barricades set up at the mall, as you can see right here, and it's in place at the State House too, but those have since been removed. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian is live at the State House with a look at what's happening right now. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Shannon. Just an incredible crowd here approaching the Rhode Island State House. We're actually in the middle of the intersection of Francis Street, and you can see behind me these people just keep coming. I would estimate thousands of people here shutting down the street in front of the Providence Place Mall as they march to the State House. I cannot see an end. Already packed onto the lawn in front of the Rhode Island State House, holding up signs that say Black Lives Matter, black is not a crime, calling for justice for the Black lives lost at the hands of police officers, and chanting Black Lives Matter. As you can see, traffic is just completely come to a halt here in front of the mall as these protesters just continue to pour out of downtown Providence towards the State House. I also want to give you a look at the security here. Providence Police and the National Guard both surrounding the State House and the Providence Place Mall. We've seen some National Guardsmen in military-style gear with rifles. They are keeping a wide perimeter around the State House. But earlier, we saw a moment of true unity and peace here. We want to show you some video of these protesters stopping and taking a moment to pray The Rhode Island State Police who are here trying to keep these folks safe, keep this a peaceful protest. The Black Lives Matter protesters calling for them to see eye to eye, for unity, and for a peaceful night. Now, as you mentioned, these barricades were set up around the mall and initially around the State House. They have since been taken down around the State House, but the governor was asked about the optics of that earlier today.
This is very difficult, okay? What we are trying to do is very difficult. We are trying to strike the right balance where we enable a peaceful protest during the day, never threatening anyone's right to do that, never policing against anyone who is appropriately protesting, including, yell. I know the doctor said not to yell, but exercising your rights. We also know that when it gets dark, it's possible that we could again be dealing with some serious violence.
So the goal tonight and this evening is for a peaceful protest. Again, a lot of security here around the Rhode Island State House, Rhode Island State Police, National Guard keeping a wide perimeter around the State House as thousands of Black Lives Matter protesters gather here in the city of Providence. Reporting live, I'm Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News. The throng of people is still making its way down through the center of Providence here to the State House. Check out this crowd. I was just talking to my photojournalists Andy and Corey, and they agree we have never seen anything quite like this here in Providence, Rhode Island. There must be thousands of people now gathered here for this youth-organized Black Lives Matter protest, which will culminate here at the State House with some speakers we're expecting to hear from later on this evening. Let's take a little bit of a walk and show you the scene here in front of the Providence Place Mall and in front of the Rhode Island State House. It looks like maybe the crowd is just starting to peter out, but we couldn't see the end of this march here for quite some time. And we've got Providence Police and the National Guard here outside of the mall trying to keep everybody safe with some militarized gear and some rifles on hand. The goal of this evening is a peaceful protest. Earlier today, we saw some protesters praying alongside of Rhode Island State Police for a peaceful evening. And you can see lots of folks here holding signs that say Black Lives Matter, chanting Black Lives Matter, as they continue to make their way down through downtown Providence. I mean, take a look at this crowd. I still can't see the end of the crowd that's making its way here from Kennedy Plaza. So again, we are going to be live here all night. We'll bring you continuing coverage on Eyewitness News.